A large part of waking up to the self is realizing that nobody can make you feel anything. We choose to feel how we feel about the things in our lives. This doesn't sound right because we're used to saying like, oh, this person made me angry, this person made me feel this way, or this situation made me feel this way, but that's not true. Everything that you feel is a matter of choice. For example, a group of people can be at the same place at the same time and experience that place and the situation that's going on completely differently, right? Because it's a matter of choice. If they're having a good day, or if they choose to feel good about the situation, then they will feel good about the situation. If they choose to feel upset about the situation, then they will feel upset about the situation or the person. Nothing from the outside, whether the place is beautiful, whether the place has the perfect weather, or you're with your favorite people, nothing from the outside is making you feel that way, right? Everything is coming from the inside. You might love the amusement park because you're going there with your favorite people, or you love roller coasters, and then the person next to you hates roller coasters and they hate the people that they're with. Their feelings are coming from the inside out. It's not being put onto them. You know, the outside circumstance is not causing those feelings. The feelings are coming from how that person chooses to see the world.
If this were not so, we would all be experiencing life in the same way, right? If it was a nice day and we were all at the amusement park and it was perfect weather and everything was going great, then we would all feel great. We would all feel the same way because the environment gave us the feeling that we are to feel at that moment. But that's not what it happens. That's not what happens. We feel how we feel by our inner perception.
Right? So how we feel is how we experience our life. And we have been preconditioned to be okay with certain feelings, right? If a person is being a bully and continuously picks on another person, we're preconditioned to believe that that bully has a detrimental effect on the victim's life. We're preconditioned to believe that, you know, it's okay for the victim to feel threatened, right? That bully is causing the discord in the victim's life. But even the victim is choosing to feel how they feel about the situation, right? That's where their power lies, in the choice of. And if they give into the bully, then they have given up their power. They have given up their power of choice. Their power is being taken. They feel like something is being taken from them. They feel like this person can actually do harm to them, right? But since we are eternal beings, the truth is that nobody can harm you, right? So whenever there's an issue, every person involved is a stakeholder within that issue, right? We always like to put blame. There's a victim and then there's the perpetrator. And yes, that's true. But the whole reason that the issue is happening in the first place is because of the separation. It's because everybody's acting out of their ego, right? So for the bully to be picking on another person means the bully feels incomplete in themselves, right? So they have to figure out how to get some sort of power within themselves. And to feel powerful, they pick on another person, right? They try to feel dominant over that person so that they can feel big within themselves, because within themselves they feel small. They feel like there's holes in themselves. And in the same way, the victim feels like that person is a threat because they don't understand themselves as whole. They don't understand the truth of who they are either, right? So that person is threatening to them. And in that instance, they feel beneath the predator. The victim feels like the predator has the power to take away their joy, to take something away from them. So when sin is talked about in the Bible, it's about how we fear ourselves and our inadequacies, right? And how that causes issues within our life. That causes problems within our life. And so the issue of sin is not a matter of magnitude, which sin is greater than the other. The issue of sin is being off kilter, being separated from the truth, right? So sin is not anything to repent from. It's a misstep so that you can get alignment into alignment with your true self, right? It shows that there needs to be an alignment. It's not an attack on your character. It's showing that you're out of alignment with the truth, with the Most High, with yourself, right? With your true self, with your true being. When you're in alignment with your true self, you can handle issues because you realize you can always bring yourself back to that alignment, right? Of course, we are on this plane, we're on this frequency. So initially something might startle you. It might feel like it's harming you. But when you're in the knowing of who you are and you practice this over and over again and you come back to yourself over and over again, it'll become a habit. Just like the habit of separation that we've had, we can always retrain ourselves to come back into the habit of alignment, right? So moving through obstacles, moving through issues becomes easier and easier because you can always bring yourself back into alignment, right? You can always bring yourself back into the frame of mind of how you want to feel. That's where your power lies, how you want to feel. Power is not over another person. Power is over your peace. You have dominion over your peace. You have dominion over your joy, right? You have dominion over who you are, over your life, because you have control over how you feel. Guilty, but each person is caught up within the perception of the ego. And that's what sin is, right? That's why they say no sin is greater than the other, because it's not about the situation. It's not about the sin. It's about that separation. It's about not realizing the truth. And when you don't realize the truth, you're caught up within the situation. You're caught up within the ego. You're caught up within the issues of the ego, right? But when you get in alignment with your natural self, when you get in alignment with the Most High, you realize that none of that stuff has an impact on who you truly are, right? So you don't have to be, as a victim, you don't have to be afraid of a person that's trying to harm you, right? Because they cannot harm you. You are whole. You are a whole being, and you are not of this earth, right? So the things that you value are not of this earth, right? So there's no real threat. You cannot be threatened. And on the other side, there would not, if people actually knew themselves, there wouldn't even be a perpetrator. There would not be a bully, because that bully would feel whole in themselves, right? They wouldn't have to attack another person. They wouldn't have to feel powerful over another person or try to harm another person. So these issues wouldn't exist if people knew who they were. Since we've been preconditioned to feel this way, then we feel like it's okay to just be sad or be upset or be angry, and that this is an imposition on our lives, that somebody imposed these feelings on our lives, when actually they just imposed that action, right? That person was just being a bully. But that victim can choose to feel okay with themselves and choose to forgive the situation, or they can choose to feel upset and feel like that, they can either feel like they're undeserving and they deserve better, or they can feel what they want to feel towards the bully. But the truth is, however they feel is going to impact their lives, right? But forgiveness on their end is going to better their lives. That's how we bring in peace into our life, is that we see the reality of situations, right? And how you feel about your life is going to make or break you, because you're either going to have a life that's fulfilling, or you're going to have a life that is unfulfilling. So we can recondition ourselves to go against the grain, to teach ourselves what is true, right? The truth is that we are eternal beings that are having an experience in this lifetime. And if we can see beyond the egos of people, if we don't interact with people's ego, and we can see beyond it to the actual person, then we don't have to hold on to the hurts in our lives. We can go beyond it. We can teach ourselves to see the truth, right? And live and bring peace into our life. Peace is our natural state of being. If we can get back to our natural state of being and realize that certain issues doesn't have to bring sorrow into our life, right? Because we see the truth of it. We're training ourselves. When you wake up, you have to train yourself differently to see life for what it is, right? To bring harmony, to bring peace into your life, no matter the condition, no matter what anybody's trying to do to you, right? Because they're not in control of your life. You are. You are in control by the way you feel. Beyond the circumstance that you're living in, you are in control of the way that you feel about it, right? And if your natural state is peace, you can always bring yourself back to peace by seeing the reality of the situation, by understanding that nobody has control over how you feel, that you have control over how you feel. And it's not a matter of, controlling every aspect of my life and never feeling emotion and never feeling that initial feeling, right? Because you'll feel it, but then you train yourself to see the truth. And this is a matter of heaven and hell, right? Heaven and hell are states of mind. You can live in hell, which is what we're mostly living in, right? In the discord that we've created. Or you can live in heaven in accordance with the Most High and see the God in everything and everyone, right? You see that God is always with you, right? You see that this life is being created by you and by God. So when you get in accordance with God, you realize that there are no setbacks, that your consciousness, your being are beyond those setbacks, right? So when you can rest in your life, no matter what's going on, you can rest. The meaning of resting in peace is not for after death. It's for the now, right? You can rest in peace when you're in accordance with God, because that's where your peace is. You can rest there because you don't have to worry about anything, right? You're not in your ego. You're in alignment with the Most High. So you can rest in peace. And protecting your peace is protecting the way you feel. It's protecting the truth of your being.